Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and I managed to catch the news while at work that there is a video about what's next in Raid, and it involves faction wars, which means I am super excited about it. I've seen a couple of people talking about it, but I've actually managed to avoid seeing anything other than mostly YouTube thumbnails about what's going on. So I am super excited. We're going to take a look at this. You're going to see my reactions, and we'll certainly talk about some of the stuff that they are promising in this next Raid update, because I am certainly excited about it. So let's get going.
Hey everyone, it's time for another episode of What's Next in Raid, because we've got some exciting updates coming soon.
That'll be
There's
exciting.
Faction Wars Hard Mode, an expansion to Siege battles with some new mechanics. But first look at this year's Community Weeks and more. So buckle up and let's get into it. We'll start with an old and popular feature that has been around for almost as long as Raid itself. We thought it was about time for an update, so enter Faction Wars Hard Mode. The concept is simple. Greater challenges, greater rewards. You'll unlock hard mode by finishing all faction crypts and collecting the final Faction Wars reward on normal mode.
Yeah, that's an important distinction. So you do have to get Lydia before you can even unlock anything in hard mode, which is a bit of an interesting choice because I'm sure some people will be able to do some hard mode on some factions, but it does definitely drive you to get Lydia early, and then you can actually push hard mode a little bit. So I kind of like that.
Lydia, the Death Siren. The schedule will be the same on both difficulties, so don't worry about there being a mismatch on opening days. You'll also be able to access hard mode crypts with the same keys you'd use to access normal mode
Makes
crypts.
sense.
All crypts will be significantly harder, but that also means better rewards. We're talking artifact crafting materials, glyphs, including rank 6 glyphs in rare, epic, and legendary rarities, and new rewards like relic crafting materials for a brand new group.
Okay.
Those are just the goodies that drop from regular crypt stages. We're also introducing a whole new line of rewards. The challenges are harder though. Clearing a stage with no losses will only net you 2 stars this time around. Getting 3 will require something special. It might be killing enemies while they're under 10 debuffs, or landing a specific number of final blows with a champion under perfect veil. Be sure to check out what challenge awaits you on each specific stage. Speaking of challenges, you'll also have to face off against much stronger faction crypt keepers too. Each updated boss will have its own focus, whether it's damage over time, single target damage, etc. Each new tainted crypt keeper is visually distinct for your convenience, and we'll make sure there are in-game boss guides to help you out.
Okay, so just looking at this here, you're going to get 21 more stages of this, which is actually pretty impressive. It looks like they're going to have glyphs that are going to be better than normal glyphs, which will be kind of nice. I don't know if it's going to be a higher range, and we're going to have some stat creep from that end, or if it's going to be maybe a just ones that are guaranteed. Like, for example, you can get on a 6-star regular glyph, you can get from 3 to 8 speed. Well, maybe with one of these improved glyphs, it might only be 4 to 8 or 5 to 8, for example, which I think would be generally pretty well received, because it really sucks to get the minimum number on some of these glyphs. So that's interesting. Relic crafting is certainly interesting. It leans into what Faction Wars has done and something that you're going to be doing daily anyway. This all seems pretty good so far. I'm super excited.
Challenge completion rewards for clearing hard mode stages are pretty awesome too. And they'll also include a mythical champion you won't be able to get anywhere else. So get out there and conquer Faction Wars today to make sure you're ready for when hard mode drops. Next up, let's talk about changes coming to Siege.
Okay, before we get into Siege, just looking at what's going on in Faction Wars, I'm excited for it. The only thing I'm less excited about is I was kind of hoping they might do something with the Crypt Keepers to maybe make them a little more unique, or maybe something I talked about with MTG Jedi in one of my early collabs was actually having the bosses be of the other factions. So there's a little more of Faction Wars being a faction versus another faction. And from that perspective, yeah, we don't quite get that. We're going to get instead just, I guess in some ways more of the same, but hard. But it sounds like the bosses are going to be different. There's going to be very specific challenges against some of the bosses, or some of the floors even, and maybe I don't know. It looks like that challenges are mostly versus the bosses. And that's going to be kind of interesting. My hope is that it's not going to require you to have mythicals to beat some of those stages. Now, I'm sure the mythicals are certainly going to help, but I really hope this is going to be something that's still going to be accessible for a lot of people in the game without having to have multiple mythicals to be able to get through. Plus, I'm a little disappointed we didn't actually see what the mythical is other than just got the name Polaris something or other. So, all right, let's take a look at Siege. Siege needs some work, seriously.
All clan fortress buildings will have their max level increased from 3 to 6. That means 90 additional defense team slots, more battles for all participating players, and more resources that can be won. We're also
That's good and that's bad. The good part about it is that it gives you some stuff to spend on, because I know, like, for example, in my main clan, we're running low on stuff to spend. The bad news for that is I really, really think that they need to figure out how to deal with scrolls a little bit better, because right now you're almost better off not doing the upgrades because you limit how many scrolls the enemy team has, and specifically you tend to limit the people that have more powerful champions, because the leader and the clan leadership gets extra attacks right now, and they tend to be the higher tiered accounts. So the higher tiered accounts get more attacks, which means it's easier for them to break your main stuff, and they have a little bit more leeway because they have more attacks. So Polarium does need to kind of fix that in some way, shape, or form. I don't know a good way to fix it, because I kind of understand what they're trying to do with adding extra attacks when you get the extra defenses. But at the same time, maybe that's a reason to upgrade, is you don't get extra defenses, or maybe you only get one extra attack per 2 extra defenses. So you don't actually get a ton extra, you just get a small amount extra. We'll see.
also planning a new mechanic for magic towers and defense towers. These defensive measures can conceal some of the champions garrisoned in a tower before a fight begins, or apply debuffs to the attacking team. Think of them like traps. They're a tool to mislead the enemy and utilize a greater range of tactics to make breaking through your defenses even harder. We're also expanding siege tiers up to 8. New tiers? That must mean new rewards, I hear you ask. You're right. Winning sieges in tiers 7 and 8 comes with greater rewards, such as unique crafting materials for another new group of relics coming down the line. But it'll be more difficult to stick around than it is in tiers 1 to 6. You'll need to reach a certain number of siege points to enter tier 7, and winning a battle there will propel you into tier 8. However, losing battles will drop you to lower tiers, and you'll have to win again to return. We'll also be tweaking some existing mechanics, such as victory conditions tweaks meant to deal with siege draws and clan management tools, to see where we can improve there. Keep an eye on the patch notes coming in the future to learn more.
Okay, yeah, clan management on Siege is something that's definitely a problem. I'm not sure I like the idea of 7 and 8 having to win, because again, we're talking, this is now another PvP mode inside of PvE rewards inside of the game. So there's a lot of friction on players that don't enjoy PvP, otherwise fitting well into a clan, being forced into doing Siege. And if they're not doing Siege, that can certainly hurt your clan as well. So I'm not 100% sure on some of this stuff, especially with the focus on winning to stay in some of these things. I think it might be better overall to maybe have a limited number of things and have the points kind of move a little bit, or maybe have some sort of clan rating, especially because you can have an off week. And, you know, if you have 2 off weeks in a row, you fall down all the way back to tier 6 and you have to work your way to tier 7. And that literally means that no one starts in tier 7 or tier 8. So only some people will get into tier 7, and then only some of those people will get into tier 8. And then basically half the people in tier 8 will start falling out right away. And I think that knowing how they've handled limited like ability to get into certain areas with tag, I'm not sure I believe that they can handle that properly. So we'll see.
Slightly smaller feature we've got coming, but no less exciting, is leaderboards. Bring bragging rights. In essence, we're implementing dedicated leaderboards for all arena modes and the 6 dungeons. You'll be able to see the top 3 performers in the arena or dungeons collectively, but you'll also be able to see the top 100 players for each separate mode and location within the arena and dungeons. These leaderboards will be separated by region and will be refreshed each week for arena and every 2 weeks for dungeons. Scoring high on the global and regional leaderboards will net you some sweet avatar frames and unique badges to show off on your raid profile. Finally, Community Weeks is coming back.
And just on those leaderboards, I like the fact that it's all cosmetic stuff. So it's stuff that gets people interested in fighting for stuff, but it's not rewards that make people feel like they have to fight for that stuff either. So you want a cool badge, you want a cool, border. Well, start doing some of those stuff, place on the leaderboards. You don't care, you don't have to. Kind of nice. I think that's actually a great way to approach it. It also means that if you get lucky and manage to get on there 1 or 2 weeks in a row, then you might get something kind of cool, even though you don't have to necessarily stay there.
We've got a new event planned to celebrate you, our wonderful community, and the bonds you forged with one another on your adventures in Teleria. So, what's new? Well, we're introducing a new 25-day login program, similar to an advent calendar. A specific slot will unlock each day, and you'll need to log in to claim the reward assigned to it. You'll want to log in every day, or you might miss out on some serious goodies. On some of the days, you'll be able to claim fragments for a brand new legendary champion, Udex Artor, created especially for Community Weeks. Don't worry about missing out on the fragments, though. You'll still be able to claim them before the daily login rewards come to an end. Still, it's better to log in every day to claim the other resources as well. The final reward of the Community Weeks Advent Calendar is a legendary relic, and you get to decide what it'll be.
Ooh.
When the time comes, you'll get to vote on one of 4 options. Rally your friends, make your vote count, and determine the boon every player will receive. We're nearly done, but a What's Next in Raid video is never complete without a sneak peek at some upcoming champions. Feast your eyes on these incredible new warriors coming to the game over the next few months.
Interesting.
And that's it for now.
Ooh, is that a dog?
You're excited about these new features
Hold on. We're going back. That is an orc dog, hopefully. So we may actually have somebody to finally pair with Shayak. That'll be awesome.
And that's it for now. We hope you're excited about these new features coming to the game. As always, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things Raid.
Well, there we go. That's the video. A lot of cool stuff. Obviously not a lot of very detailed specifics, but Faction War Hard Mode is kind of what I thought it was going to be, other than the fact that they're going to do a full 21 floors of it, which will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how many keys it's going to cost. Is it going to cost 4 keys per floor? Is it going to cost more than 4 keys per floor? I mean, to be fair, I would not be upset if the rewards were better and it cost 5 or 6 keys per floor. So I am super excited about this. What do you guys think? Do you think they've hit the mark on a lot of these things? Do you think there's anything you're actually worried about? Do you think this is not really that exciting? What do you think? I'm certainly super excited about most of this stuff. And, some of the stuff I'm not excited about is stuff that I still think they're at least trying and it's going to be interesting. I just don't necessarily trust that they're going to implement it well to start. So Raid has been listening. Polarium's actually been listening quite a bit to some of the feedback on this stuff. And a lot of these features are interesting and cool features and fun stuff that will drop. And to be fair, we're finally getting some more cool PvE content with hard mode faction wars, which I think is actually really good daily content that we can all partake in. So I'm super excited. Again, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I will see you. I will be pulling shards this CatHerder for anyone who wants it. It is a 2x everything normal. So it is a 2x Ancients, 2x Voids, and a 2x Sacreds. So if you want me to pull your shard, I will have plenty of Pepsi on hand. And we will have a lot of fun pulling on CatHerder. And, otherwise, good luck on your weekend pulls, and I'll be posting some videos on my shard pulls on both my free-to-play and my main. So I'll look forward to those. You guys have a wonderful weekend again, and until the next video, I'm Bront CatHerder.